to go into contacts. So contacts is a very basic place for you to view contacts and add your own personal contacts. So contacts here are segmented by all, just company, and just contacts you yourself have added. Company contacts are preloaded by admin, so you will automatically have all colleagues' names, numbers, and extensions. You will never have to be adding that type of information. What you can add is your own contacts, which will just be reflected on your application. How to add contacts is you can go and add one individual contact at a time. You can come in and you can actually import a long contacts list. If you use Outlook, you can come in here and download this Outlook CSV file or upload a CSV file or download this template and fill it out. So that's more so if you want to add, say, 100 contacts or something like that. And then from there, you can also add contacts from your call history, your voicemail history, and your message history. I'm going to show you that as we move through those different sections. Anytime you add a personal contact, you have the ability to delete or edit a contact. However, at company contact level, you cannot delete or edit. There, you can always search for contacts at the top by name, extension, phone number, etc. And when you hover over a contact, you can call them, message them, or give them a gold star, which ultimately will put them in your favorites tab. Your favorites tab is basically just going to show them what you are seeing here. Makes a smaller list for you. So, any questions on contacts before we move into the calling feature? Contacts is pretty cut and dry, so we'll move on to the calls feature. So the calls feature here is going to show you one thing first before we even talk about how to make a call. And it's going to show you your call history. You have a recent tab and a missed tab. Please note that the recordings tab will not be on your account unless your company is paying for on-demand recording, which generically most are not. A few of you out there may be. So the major ones you'll always see then is recent and missed. Recent and missed, of course, is just that. Any missed calls here, any recent calls here. If you hover over a line item and you press this call button, it will push the call through your computer as long as you have an active microphone. If you don't have click to call on, you can message them or you can add them as a contact. Some people ask, well, what about this blocking feature? This blocking feature would have to be enabled by your admin. So this is not a generic feature that most have. From your call history, again, you can call people right back and search for your calls history here. It should connect between your mobile app, your desk phone, and this app, of course. So from there, we're going to move into actually showing you what it looks like to make an active call. Show you some features. It's not going to be a perfect demo because it's going to be pretty much me calling me, but I do want you to see what it looks like and your tools that are available. But before that, how you receive a call on the app. On the app, you're always going to get a push notification. If the app is, say, minimized, you will get a little notification at the bottom right, and it will say that there's an incoming call. And if you have this screen up, you will have a big square in here, which let me see if I can show you here in a moment. So you can kind of see what it looks like. I apologize if it sounds loud. So here you can see the caller ID. I can hang it up, I can answer it, or up and automatically place it on hold. So that's a new feature they've recently added. I'm sure we've all been on one call where you see a second call come in, but you just know you cannot cut your first call short immediately. You just press that pick up and put on hold button to pick and put that second person on hold. If you don't do anything, you just let it ring out, of course, ultimately, it will roll over to voicemail. So now that we have an active call, and just so you know, to outbound call, you can either press this make a call button here and dial an extension or a 10-digit phone number. You can press new call here or new call here. Those are the three spaces that you'll utilize to make a call. So now that I have an active call, it is on hold, but basically what I'll see is how long the call is going on, or if it's on hold, the hold word here. You don't need to just maximize. You can always have it minimized at the top. But if you are planning to transfer or use three-way calling, I do advise to maximize because your toolbar gets a little larger. You can also come in here and default setting your microphone. This is not something you have to do by call basis. Where I have seen it be useful is if you utilize a microphone for this application. You may want to make sure that if for any reason, this is rare, but I have had some people have this, for any reason you pick up a call, but your microphone just doesn't seem to be working, you can hear them, but they can't hear you. Make sure that your system has defaulted to the correct microphone. Very rare, but it happens. And here you have your caller ID information. Bottom, your tool. I can continue to call. I can put it on hold or take it off hold at any point. It will play hold music or hold verbiage that your company might have uploaded. You can hang up. You will not be able to record those calls unless, again, you have on-demand recording. You will be able to have a keypad here. So if you called an automated line, you can always make a select. And the two or three important buttons here are your add call button, your transfer button, and your park button. So how they will work. Add call means three-way calling. Here you're going to go in, you're going to select who you would like to call to, and again, you can type in a 10-digit phone number instead. You select someone's name, it always is going to ask you, are you sure? Just in case you may have accidentally selected the wrong person. When you press OK, it is going to basically put call one on call caller two. You'll be able to introduce the call to caller two, and this add call button will turn into a merge button that when you press, it will merge the two callers and yourself into a three-way call. It is just three-way calling at this time. Alternatively, you have your three transfer types, your blind, attended, or transfer to voicemail. If you are not familiar with what these mean, blind transfer means not having to speak to the person you plan to transfer to. Attended means you do want to give this new person some context on the call. Transfer to voicemail means you want to transfer directly to someone's voicemail box, and this one is only internal. So you will select the option you're interested in. You either type the phone number or find that contact. And again, when you press OK for both a blind transfer or transfer to voicemail, the call will officially be transferred over and you will get a little successful notification. The only one that reacts a little differently is attended transfer because ultimately it calls caller two, puts caller one on hold. And once you have warmed up or attended that transfer, you're going to press this button that will be kind of toggling at you as a transfer now option. If you do ever do call parking, you can press this park button. The system will tell you where it is parked. So an automated voice will say, call is parked at 2 or line 1. A colleague or yourself can then pick up the line by going to a different phone, dialing *104 star that one-digit number that it just previously told. So I know we didn't do a whole lot of examples because of obviously time being, but are there any questions on making calls before I mention one other thing in the calls section? Okay, so a common question again is if I'm on a call on, say, my desk phone or my mobile app, which we're not obviously going over today, but how can I transfer it to my desktop? I know we've all probably been on a call on our mobile phone. We get into the office and we'd like to continue it from our computer. There is this button right here called Call Flip. It's in the Calls tab. If you press that Call Flip button, it will allow you to flip the call from your mobile phone or your desk phone to the computer, basically wherever you would like it to flip to, and in this case, the computer. You are going to press that button and it will seamlessly flip the call. The person should have no idea that the call was switched over. Let me know if there are any questions on that. Otherwise, we're going to move into the voicemail section, followed by the messaging, and we're going to finish up with some settings here. So we probably have about 10 more minutes just on the app before we move into the phone section. Okay, I did have a great question. Can you transfer from desk phone to mobile or mobile to desk phone? You can. So whether it's mobile app or a desktop app that we're going over today, you can desk phone and you can dial *44 and it will flip the call either from your desktop app or your mobile app, wherever you were on the call, to desk phone. So basically it is *44. Put this in the chat too. So just send. However, if you want to transfer it from desk phone to mobile app, the mobile application will also have this little symbol, the call flip symbol, right in the keypad section of the mobile app. So you can, of course, flip it from there. Alrighty, so from there, we're going to move into the voicemail piece. The voicemail piece is where you can go in and check voicemails, just so that you know this is where you're going to check voicemails. If you're interested in setting up voicemail, we'll go over that here momentarily. But here I can see any voicemail, anything that would be in bold with a red little writing at the bottom, as well as a number listed how many new voicemails, you will know it's a brand new voicemail. Anything that is not in bold and you don't have a number listed here, so I don't see 2 voicemails, meaning they're not new, that means you've already checked set of voicemails. I love the voicemail because it's very nice and efficient to check it. You can see who it's from, when it came in, and how long this voicemail might be. I'm sure we've all been there where we had a lot of voicemails. You don't know how long it's going to take from the physical phone to listen to it. Here it kind of lets you know what may be. So here you can come in, press on this play button, and you'll be able to play, fast forward, rewind, stop as you'd like. Also download this as an audio file or even email it to it. So say you're out of office and someone left you a voicemail. It's urgent and you need someone in office to handle it. You can come in here, put someone's email address in, type a message, and it will forward it right over. You can delete it in a voicemail by pressing this delete voicemail button, and you can add this person as contact by pressing that. You can also delete all by selecting multiple. What I do want to be clear about, however, is if you are deleting a voicemail here, it will also delete on the mobile app and on your desk phone. So if that wasn't your end goal, please do not press this delete. I hate for you to delete an important voicemail that ultimately deleted on your desk phone. So if you just want to acknowledge it, and you don't even have to technically listen to it, press on it, it will clear out that new voicemail notification and it will sit in there for however long you need it to sit in there. Are there any questions on the voicemail section before we go into the the messages section? So messages, I'm going to start with team messaging and go into SMS. Team messaging is an internal messaging system where you can send messages both between one individual and yourself, or you can group messages internally of up to 200 people. To start a new message, you go to New, Message. You just want to start a message with an individual. If you would like to start a group message, you want to go here and type New Group, or you can New Group here. These 2 options. You will just name the group and add up to 200 people. Some people like to utilize that in order to send out file messages or emergency alerts, or utilize it for collaboration efforts. You are able to internally send files of up to 8 megabytes per file by just attaching it from your files. Type messages, send emojis. You can, again, always delete a message here. A lot of people ask, is there a way for me to reverse deleting a message? There is not, but it is pretty hard to delete it because if you notice, when I press delete message, it asks me one more time to confirm. You can also delete individual messages. So here I see you messaged me. I can delete a message here, or I can copy any message to clipboard. I can also call the person straight from our message. And there's also read receipts. So it's not going to show the time it was read, but I was able to see that I sent this message and it was read by, like I sent this, and he obviously responded to it. Any questions on team messaging? If our phone is ever down due to storms, will the phone app be able to send a message to the group? It should be, and the reason I say it should be is unless the storm also knocked out cellular data, which I myself have seen happen where I live about once or twice. As long as it doesn't also knock out cellular data, so your AT&T or Verizon is not completely out, you should be able to utilize the mobile app to then send out a message that way. So like I said, should be no issue. However, if you have no cellular data, can't speak today, you will not be able to. So just be aware of that. So from team messaging, we're going to go into SMS. This might be a little less commonly used by some, but I know this is a feature that a lot of people are looking forward to use. What it is basically you can send a SMS text message with your desk phone number appearing as the sender. So a lot of people who work with clients closely like to utilize this to send messages without sharing their own personal cell phone. So how this works is you'll go to New, Message, and you'll type in a 10-digit cell phone number. It unfortunately cannot be a mainline number or a fax line number. It is not going to send as an email or a voice message. It is just your good old-fashioned SMS messaging. So once you type in this 10-digit phone number like I did here, you send a message through the app and the person here receives it as a text message. They text back, having no idea particularly that this is coming from an office phone number. I receive a notification through the app and I see, oh gosh, thanks for letting me know. So I do know here that it is, it was sent through. Right now it is just SMS messaging, so you cannot do group text messaging nor send files via this messaging at this time. That is something that will be added at some point soon, but it is something you can utilize. It's a really interesting feature of this app. So with that, are there any questions on the SMS messaging or team messaging before I just spend the last 2 or 3 minutes on this desktop app going over some settings? Then we'll move into the phone. I see another question. What will the ID display when using this feature? When you mention ID, do you mean like what number? Because what number would show up basically is whatever your office phone number is. So my particular number for this device is let's see if I can look at it real quick. I have so many numbers, I almost forget which one's which. So in my case, it's going to show up as the 720-903-1316, which is the number associated with this account. Yes, so that will show up. For text messaging wise, it's not going to show up as a name. It is just going to appear like a 10-digit phone number. So there, yeah, great question. So unless admin and the admin portal have defaulted so that no matter who messages, it sends out as like the mainline number, it will most likely show up as the individual user's phone number. That was a great question. Okay, so lastly on the app, I want to show you a few settings. And when I go into the little circle again and go to settings, you You have a whole long list of settings. The two ones I'm going to focus on for about 2 minutes is the voicemail and call forwarding. But just so you know what's in each tab, the profile tab basically allows you to see what your secret question or answer you set was. It allows you also to proactively change your password. I do get common questions of how often do I need to change my password on the app. There is really no time limit on it. As I mentioned before, I didn't change my password for a good year and 3 months. The only reason I ended up having to change my password was because I got locked out. So you do not need to go in every 120 days and change your password. Application tab will show you certain default application settings that you can enable or disable as you'd prefer. Audio will allow you again to default your microphone and speakers to a particular audio device. Extension will show you what your extension number is and your direct dial number is. But then call forwarding and voicemail is what I really like to focus on. So most people say, do I really need call forwarding if I'm utilizing a mobile app or a computer? And I might say, no, you technically don't. But perhaps you need to forward your calls to somebody else and you are remote, right? You're not by your desk phone, so you can't forward it from there. Maybe I wake up and I have a last minute doctor's appointment and I need to forward my calls to a colleague. I can go in here and I can go to forward all calls. I can either type in my own phone number or own personal phone number of mine, and then it will be in a list I've created, or I can select a colleague's number, press save, and all calls and all voicemails will be sent to that device. Alternatively, follow me in simultaneous ring. Follow me allows you to have your phone and 4 other phones ring in a sequence that you create. A little less commonly used, but hey, some people have a good use for it. Also, once you have none of those 5 people pick up, it will just end up in your extension's voicemail. Last but not least, you can also have your phone and 4 additional phones all ring at the same time, so you can truly never miss a call if you would like. Any questions on call for? I had a great question. Can you at some point explain how to turn off click to call? So how you would want to turn off click to call, make sure that disable calling. It looks like when it's on, click to call is active. You want to press the circle and disable this. You should just green circle and see any notification at the top. That will make sure that click to call is not on. The only reason for any reason at that point that it would still be on is if your phone is listed as soft phone failed, which would be a big red notification at the top of your screen. The in here will just be the voicemail tab. So the voicemail tab allows you to do a few things. If you have a physical desk phone, you can actually set or reset your voicemail pin. There's no voicemail pin necessary for the desktop app to check voicemail, but if you have a desktop phone, you can also reset the pin. If you would like voicemail to email, meaning you want to get an email copy every time you get a voicemail, you come in here and you want to make sure you see your email listed here with a check mark up here. And last but not least, if you would like to change a greeting, again, any greeting you record on your desk phone automatically shows up here. But how to record a greeting through the app? You press the record button. It asks you where you would like to get a call. Again, each option will tell you exactly what it is. So here I would type in a 10-digit phone number. It can be a cell phone, it could be a home phone, it could be any phone you have access to. Because once you press dial, the system will call you at that device and it will ask you to start recording from. So I will record through that device, I can re-record, and once I press save, I come in here and listen to my end product. You can also come in and upload a greeting if you have a professional greeting as well.